Hey everybody, Nicole here with CellBotics, and with me I have Michelle, the computer lady. Google it, you'll find her everywhere. And then I have Tom, he is our director and trainer of the cell phone course in Texas.
Hey.
And so we're gonna talk about what is new with CellBotics. It is August 4th, 2021, and we have a lot of things going on. So we kind of wanted to break it down.
Okay.
The business part of the course. So we used to do that in person, and it was really difficult because it really needed me, right? And you know, CellBotics is growing, and I'm growing as a CEO, and that's a big word. And walking away, you know, not more walking away, but more like growing up. You know, like a tree. So we're getting like more branches and more people, right? And so I'm having to work on bigger things, right? And so it's really hard for me just to be in a class all day long. And also just sometimes it's really draining, to be honest with you guys, to like give that much energy every week to you guys in person. So I converted it into a video course, and I still give my same information. Actually, it's more detailed. So like in class, I only had like 10 hours to go over all the content. Whereas this, I mean, some videos are an hour long, me talking about one topic. So I'm like doing a brain dump in this business course. So definitely you're still getting it, okay? It's just delivered online. And it's a bonus because now you're getting 4 days of that cell phone course in person instead of 3. So it's more hands-on, you know? So it's actually better for you guys because you're spending all this time in person, you're just focusing on the in-person stuff, and then right when you go home, you start this business side, you know, depending on what course you take. If you take the 8-day, 2 combo course, or if you just take the cell phone, you're gonna start that as soon as you get home, and you're gonna get all of my attention, and you're gonna be able to take it at your own pace. Because some things you gotta you got to do. And in class, people are like, oh my God, it's so much information. What am I going to do? You know? Well, now you get to go through the videos and be like, okay, let me do these 5 things that she just made 5 videos about. And then let me finish with the rest, right? Because it's up in the 100 something videos, and I'm still adding more. So, you know, it's a very, very robust course that comes with it currently as of August 2021. I don't know what the future holds, but currently when you buy the in-person course, you're getting that business course. Now, say that you're watching this and you don't need to take our in-person course. Well, you can just go to cellboticsonline.com and you can purchase the business course, and you can learn from me all my tips and tricks and all the things that I know about business within that business course, okay? Next thing would be our hardware course online.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you who showed off here is this one, because I'm like super jealous. Her video training skills are so good, and here I thought that I was gonna have to give her some pointers, and I'm over here like, why is this so good and mine looks so not good, you know? So she's doing so well, and she's almost done, and I'm not even halfway done with my piece. But you want to tell a little bit about it?
Well, this is for people that are employers, and they have asked us, and people that live on other continents.
Right.
So we have people that live, say, in Canada, Mexico, or even in Africa.
I can't tell you, Africa, how many people contact me from Africa, South America, who cannot travel here, but they want a CellBotics certificate because it holds much more value, because it is an American company, and which I feel so honored that they even think that, right? And so we wanted to provide a way for you guys that are international to be able to work with us and learn from us, you know?
Now, just know that just because it's a video course doesn't mean that you are just going to get a certificate for watching the video course.
That's right.
You must, your employer must, number one, record.
Or you, if you're taking our employer. There's 2 different courses. So one for employees and one for people who are doing this on their own. But you have to record yourself. It doesn't have to be fancy. I know you're like, oh my God, I got to buy a camera. You know, you can just have somebody hold a phone and record you. Okay?
Right, because you have to do all the teardowns. You have to do all the tests. And we have to have a record of that in order to be accountability if we're audited by any type of educational program.
Correct. So you would actually email us, and we help, we'll help you with this if this confuses you. But you need like a Dropbox link, or if the video is short enough, you just email it, But we need to get a video copy of you actually doing some teardowns of devices and putting them back together. So then we have record that, hey, they actually did this, okay? You don't have to record yourself doing the whole course, but you've got to do a a couple of those devices in recordings and send them to us. So then we will reward you your certificate. You do not just get it by watching the videos. Okay, so we are not just going to let you get away with that. Okay.
Well, and the thing about it is, anybody can watch a video.
Mm-hmm.
I know people that watch or claim they watch videos, and the video's playing, and they're doing everything else.
Correct.
You have to do the teardowns. It's very important, because if you don't, you'll get lost in the process of the repair, and that I won't sign off on. Just so you know, I'm not going to do it.
Serious about it. You know. Now, if you've been following us for a while, you know we have never been on board with online learning. I mean, but as the times change, so do we. You know.
But again, it's online, but it has that hands-on component to it, and it must be complied to in order for you to be certified by CellBotics.
And employers, if you want, when you send an employee through that program, you can reach out to us. We actually can include your logo on the certificate, even though it is certifying the technician, but just to give you credit for paying for that course and sending them through it, right? Because we understand that you don't want to just, okay, I'm going to certify every employee that I get, and they I don't even get any recognition as a store. We understand that, okay? So when you hang them up, it would have your logo with the technician's name on it, okay? And so, and in the employee course, we do not cover anything business. We're not going to talk about getting money, how to get money. Don't worry about that. We are strictly speaking to them as employees, okay? And you may be saying, because we have an employer in Canada who's really waiting for this program, and one of their concerns was, well, we only use this for heat. So you're going to teach them all these different ways. And I said, but in the video, we say, here are all these methods. Your employer will tell you what to do based on company standard. So we're not training people to come back to your office and be like, you're not supposed to do it like that, you know? We're letting them know these are the options, but your employer sets the standard for how they want things done, okay?
And that's what's important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we know you can't send all your staff down here to see us, but especially when you're out of the country, that's a very big endeavor. We understand that, and so that's one thing that's really great. But definitely in person with us is always the most impactful, and I cannot stress that enough. Being able to have a trainer grab your hand and say, "No, this is how it's done," or sit with you and say, "You see that? You see this? This is," and really, because we have a lot of trainers in the room, and everybody is paying attention to you, and they're there to help you. So it's very different than doing video. And I know Tom, he's been able to see the behind the scenes of the trainers, but he was also a student,
yes,
right? And he had a chance to see, how we care about you actually learning.
Well, it's important. The thing about it is, and Nicole has always been about brand, but since I've met Nicole and since we've been partnering
mm-hmm.
together as strategic alliance partners,
mm-hmm.
our thing is our name is on it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sign a certificate if I know you can't do what you're supposed to be able to do. Mm-hmm. And everybody that's taken my class will tell you, if you're not up to standards, I'm going to make sure that you get there. Mm-hmm. I will take the extra time. I've taken extra time with people that have come here mm-hmm. to make sure that they really know what they're doing, because it's important to me. Now, on that one, what else is new is I just turned 60. Had a birthday on the 30th. Yeah, here it comes. 2 years. Mm-hmm. If you're planning on taking a class, my class, mm-hmm. with me, you have 2 years. I'm retiring at the age of 62. She says I'm not retiring. She's not going to let me go. But
no, really, she is. We've already got some replacements in the works. But if you want to work with her specifically, you definitely need to get it out of the way, because she's not going to be here in 2 years. And you definitely, if you're drawn to her, you feel like, okay, I really want to learn from this person, then you definitely need to jump on the wagon and book a class with her, because she will not be here until you only have 2 years. That's 24 classes.
That's it.
24 classes. Okay. That's it. That's 2 summers. It's nothing. You know what I mean? So you better hurry up. Okay. So I just want to really stress that. We've said that a couple of times on the videos, but I really want to stress about that. So let's talk about Texas. Give Tom a little bit of area to speak. So Tom, how excited are you about this? And we can go ahead and talk about your app, because also Tom is one of the founding members of Halo Geek, which is an app that is going nationwide awesome, and we are so honored to have him on our team and that he was interested in working with us to bring CellBotics to Texas. Yes, he's not like a staff, just like Michelle's not a staff. We are working together to bring the CellBotics program to you to really help people. So don't look at it as like, oh, we've got employees over there. No, he is very much an entrepreneur and a businessman. So I was really excited when I got to know him and his family. And so you want to talk a little bit about how you feel about it?
Yeah, thank you, Nicole. I am so excited about Haley Geek. Just to explain real briefly what it is, if you have a consumer who has a broken device that they need repaired right now, or they need assistance with some other piece of technology like their home wireless network isn't working right, or whatever it is that they need that's technology related, and they need that help right now. And there's a technician around the corner who is skilled and certified and able to provide that help right now. Haley Geek connects those two people on a platform and gets that technician over to help that consumer who needs help right now. It is real time. It's just like when you hail a ride on your phone and the driver comes right now, and
Uber.
you can actually go on there like Uber or Lyft, and you can see what cars are available. You can see on Haley Geek what technicians are available. And the technicians can even see where consumers on a map, where consumers are pulling up the app and looking for a technician. And so that's Haley Geek in a nutshell. I am so thrilled to be opening the Texas location of CellBotics training. Because when I came to get my training at CellBotics, I came to Georgia for that, and so I had to have someone run parts of my business while I was gone, and other things like that. I had to arrange some travel and the expense of that. And I'm just so excited because I know there are so many people in Texas and the surrounding states,
on the West Coast that want to come.
Who want this training, and the distance is just a barrier. So I'm so excited that we're extending this to that area, and I'm so honored to be.
Yeah, and he does repair. So he actually does mobile repair full time too with his app. So he's engulfed, in that space that you want to be in, right? So, and he may eventually stop repair because as a founding member and as his, as you grow like a tree, things happen. But, he's been there in the trenches where you're going to be at. So it's not like you're just learning from someone who's worked with us or learned from us. He's actually doing the things. And that's actually a requirement of ours, because they've got to understand. Trainers have to understand where the people are that they're training. I always use the analogy, it's like teaching someone to drive a car, but you've never drove a car. That is terrible. Could you imagine somebody standing outside of a car trying to teach you how to drive it, but they've never drove it, And so, somebody has to understand. So Tom also has been working with us for months on this. This is not something that just popped out of nowhere and, okay, we're done, and he's teaching a class off of a book. No, he is traveling back and forth, like from Texas to Norcross, spending classes with us and learning, all of our crazy ass rules about teaching you, okay? Because I am not easy, okay? I want to make sure that everybody is learning. Sometimes we have periods where it's more like a boot camp, and sometimes we have periods of the class where it's more, let's be kind, let's, connect with them, let's show them that we're there. So training for us is and this is, when I announced the Texas location, I probably have 4 or 5 people reach out to me. I could do a training. I said, really, could you? Are you ready to really, let's have a talk about that if you think you're really, and when Tom was like, oh, I'm interested, I was like, okay, we can talk about it, but then when I got to know him, I was like, okay, he really could do this, because it takes a certain kind of person. It is not, we just put a screen up and we just teach you. It doesn't work that way. It's much more, it's analyzing people, a whole room of them, and seeing what's going on with their body movements, their facial expressions, their hand movements, and understanding if they're picking up what we're actually teaching.
Well, and I love CellBotics tight standards for training, because it means that if you come to the Texas location or you come to the Georgia location, any of the other locations that might be opening up, you are going to get the same quality standard of training, and that is so important to me.
Correct.
I also love repairing devices. Nicole, you brought that up. I do repair devices. Yes. I love repairing devices so much. It probably doesn't matter how busy I get. I will still want to repair devices every once in a while. It's just fun. And I love learning to repair new types of devices. So
that's awesome.
It'll probably never end.
There you go. See? So it's kind of like if you went to one McDonald's in Atlanta and one in Houston and the burgers were completely different, you wouldn't like that very much. So we are accomplishing that, we are creating a cohesive program so you're getting the same exact thing no matter where you go. Next thing I want to bring up is we are bringing on student support specialists. Okay, so we have our very first one, and so we have this new feature that we've added to the class where we will actually contact you for a month each week, following up after you get out of class, and once a month for a year after class. And so you'll receive a call from the student support specialist to make sure that you are keeping up with what you have to do, right? So we found that accountability is one of the big issues, and we only used to follow up like every 3 months or so. We would just shoot a call and, how you doing? And it was really spotty. Some people were like, oh, I've been busy. Excuses, right? Some people, I've done a few repairs, and and they're trying, but they're hitting some roadblocks. And then we got people like, yeah, I got 3 stores open now, It was like so different. And I felt like accountability was the one thing that we were losing people on, is holding them accountable after they lost class, and and them understanding that if they're not doing it, it is their own fault.
Exactly.
Taking ownership, right? Yeah, you received your calls, right?
I received several calls
Yeah.
after I took my class here, and I loved it. When I got the first call, I was tickle pink.
Yeah.
Because I thought, this is so good. This
Yes.
accountability is excellent. Because
Yeah.
my answer on that first call was, no, I haven't done squat.
Right.
And I thought, they told me this in class, but
Yeah.
now I'm remembering again. I need to buckle down and get to it.
There you go. And that's exactly what we're hoping to do with bringing on these new student support specialists. And with that being said, as of August 2021, our support fee is extremely low. So that may be changing, because we are going to be providing other services with our support, and that costs money. I cannot stress this enough. Like, guys, for us to follow up with you, provide all these sorts of calls, and I'm going live in the private group all the time, and keeping up with content and vendors and posting new tools, and it costs us money. So when you come here, you have to understand that, okay, if I want to have that long-term support where I'm continually getting information from them, of course we give you 30 days for free, so then you're getting your support calls and you're able to access all the information and download everything, and then you delete the support if you don't want it. That's fine with us, but don't hold it against us that we have to charge a fee, because we have to employ people. I've trained you, and 6 years later you're still paying nothing, but we're talking to you every day. It doesn't make sense as a business. We are still a business at the core, and we have to be profitable. Do you guys want to say anything before we end the video?
Well, what I want to say to everybody is, number one, remember, the one way for you to be successful is making sure that you hold yourself accountable. We're your reliability partners, but at the end of the day, there's only so many things that we can do in order for you to be successful. Only you can do what you need to be successful in your life.
That's right. Yeah, we can push you so much, but if you just don't do what we tell you to do, then, because the people that do what we tell them to do, they are successful. Like, there's no other way around it. If you go through the processes, you watch all the content, and then you do what the content says to do, you will be successful. It's just that simple. I always know when someone's struggling that they haven't consumed the content. It's because if you consume the content and you do what it says, then you would be fine.
And the other thing is, you need to practice when you leave here. You need to
Right.
make sure that you're doing all the things that we request of you, and we're not doing that to belabor the point. We want to make sure that you're successful. The one thing about Nicole and I, and as, like I said, strategic alliance partners, we've always stressed on making sure that we give you the best content, making sure that it's hands-on, and making sure that you're learning everything in order for you to have the best life.
That's right.
So we're here doing our part.
All right.
The question is are you going to do yours?
You gotta do your part.
And Tom, welcome to the team.
Right.
I'm so glad you're here. Nicole, you're the best.
Yeah.
Again,
She ain't
don't
retiring.
forget.
2 years.
2.
You get 2 years. All right, everybody.